Hey guys, it's Holly Madison. Welcome back to my channel. I have a Halloween hangover. It's the day after Halloween. Did I drink on Halloween? No, but I'm just like really depressed because Halloween season is over. I just feel like I don't want to go back to real life. I feel like it's hit me so hard. It's so weird. I just feel like I need to reevaluate my entire life. And I feel like every single aspect of my life like needs tweaking right now. Does anybody else feel this way? Is it something in the air? I talked to one friend about it and she was like, no, I feel like the exact same way. I think something's in the air. So is it just me? I don't know. If you'd hit the like and subscribe, I'd really appreciate it. Today, we are continuing with my reactions to Girls Next Door season 1. My face is so shiny. I have to take a powder break right after I say this. But anyway, we are going to watch season 1, episode 11. This is the one where we go to Bridget's hometown. I have really good memories from that trip. It was super fun. So I think I might be hard pressed to find anything I hate about this episode, but we shall see because I'm often surprised. So here we go. Okay, so here we go. Hey, what happened? The show just disappeared. Okay, first of all, like TVs, like I know I could use Alexa and like talk to it, but I hate using those things. I like refuse to do it because I just kind of hate talking, except to you guys. But I hate how you have to, like, when you're searching for something, you have to type in everything on that grid and it just takes forever. All right, play. So this was the first of the episodes where we go to one of our hometowns. We went to Bridget's this season. I think Kendra's was next season. And mine wasn't till way later because I wanted to go to Alaska where I spent my grade school years. And my Postmates is here. And, you know, that's far away and it takes a bigger budget. But Bridget and Kendra were both from California, so we got to do theirs first, which kind of plays into the whole thing. Here's us bowling, and I was wearing a really short skirt that night. So all the pictures people were taking from that night, the staff was taking, were like upskirt shots. And when I say staff, I don't mean like the mansion staff you see. I mean like a different photographer. But yeah, that was weird. But anyway, not going to my hometown till later kind of plays into the whole theme I have on this show of like doing the least. Like I participated the least. I feel like I was featured the least. I feel like people got to know me the least. But that was kind of my fault too, because I was really hesitant to do the show the first couple seasons. I mean, it's just us bowling in Hollywood. It's amazing to me how this show was about nothing. And I just feel like you couldn't really get away with that today. You'll see over the seasons when it has this like cartoon character cutouts of us at the beginning, it shows our bedrooms. It'll change over the seasons. Like when I start working at the Playboy studio, you see like my desktop computer and like magazines and pictures like scattered all over my room, when in the first season all you see are like my dogs and like a picture of me and Hef. Oh my gosh, it's showing Bridget getting ready and it's 4:18 in the morning because of course we couldn't stay out past 9, so we had to rush to Northern California, which is like, it's like an 8-hour drive from LA to San Francisco. So Lodi I would think would be comparable. So we were up early to fit this in like one day. I mean, it is early morning. Like Kendra has a pillow and a blanket for sleeping in the car. It's crazy how like the curfew wasn't even allowed to be broken for the show. Like later it would be. Oh, this is where I spot a spider in the limo and I didn't want to kill it. So I trapped it in a champagne glass and threw it out the window, which chances of it surviving getting thrown out the window, I mean, probably pretty slim, but I guess I thought I was giving it a chance. Okay, the book I'm reading is a Marilyn Monroe book, and I could be wrong about which book that is, but I think it's a book with an interview from her where she was saying about how all these men's magazines, Playboy, like made all their money and established like who they were, you know, and got successful off of her pictures that she didn't make any money off of or didn't consent to the publication of. Do you guys remember Homies? They were these cute little figures that were sold in like gumball machine type prize machines. They were so cute. They were little like Latinx, like I don't know this cultural specification of the homie, but they were very cute. And I remember at the time, the valet at my bank used to collect homies. He had them lined up in the little window where you would cash out. So we are going to go grape stomping, which felt very interesting. The grapes smashing in between your toes. So we had a whole itinerary. Bridget had a ton of stuff picked out for us to do that day, which is what I like to do when I travel, because I want to see as much as I possibly can. Like, I want to see everything I'm interested in when I travel to a certain place. I don't just kind of go and show up and like hang out at the beach or the pool or something. So I was glad we got to fit a lot in one day. I'm wearing this gold shrug over these very 2000s low-rise pants and a tank top. And the gold shrug I made myself. I found this fabric like downtown or something, and I sewed a shrug out of it. I don't know why. I don't know what the occasion was or why I needed a gold shrug, but there you have it. You notice we're always posing for pictures and we're always like Vanna White style. I don't know why that was. It was always like, anytime any of us were posing for pictures, it was like hands on hips, like have like one knee in front of the other, like showgirl leg style, and then ta-da! Like, kill me now if I pose for a picture like that. Okay, so Bridget's saying like her high school mascot was called like the Flames, and the mascot was a clown. That's so weird and creepy. Sometimes I wonder what people were thinking when they were watching this show, because it has Bridget saying, going by my high school makes me so happy that I've come so far from that. And you could interpret that a lot of ways, but like, I wonder if people watching this are like, why? Because you're living with an old man? Like, I don't know. Like, I always go to like, not that I'm thinking that, but I just always go to like what the haters would think with like anything I put out there. Like, when people hate on me and write stuff in the comments, like I'm already prepared. I've already thought of it. Okay, so I've done a full outfit change somewhere here, and I don't think we stayed the night anywhere on this trip, but it shows me in the morning leaving the house, and I'm wearing like this navy blue shirt that has a 23 on it, and I'm wearing like white and blue striped socks. And then just a minute ago, I was in like jeans with a white tank top and like a gold shrug. So when did I change clothes? I almost want to say I changed clothes after grape stomping, but they're like cutting this back and forth. Like, it hasn't shown us grape stomping yet, but we've already seen like my outfit change. Oh no, Bridget is crying in this interview. I don't know why, but there's like a tear down. It's talking about her mom and Anastasia, so maybe that's why. Maybe it's like sentimental. But I'm like, whoa, wait, what? Because it just cut to an interview, all of a sudden crying. I'm like, what? It's funny because it shows all these people coming into this big dining room, and Bridget's like, oh, all my family came to see me. And it's like a lot of people. And right as I was thinking that, it cuts to an interview of me saying, I think half the population of Lodi is related to Bridget. So I guess my thought process hasn't changed that much. It has me calling Hef again. And I think that was definitely, just like in the Vegas episode, something the producers asked me to do. Because I would never like leave the house and go run errands and like call Hef in the middle of the day. Like, that was never a thing. But on these like trips where we're out and the cameras are on us, it's always like, has to be done. And it's making it sound like I even say in the interview, you know, because I was asked to say like, I don't go very long without talking to Hef. And it's just like, what would I have even talked to him about? Okay, so it has me calling Hef. We're already like on lunchtime. Like, we've been up for hours, and he's in his room with a grapefruit on his tray. So morning for him. Either that or it's one of those things where the show is just cut, not in real time. You guys, I hurt my neck so bad a week ago. I don't even know how I did it. I like have one of those sticker heating pads on. We went to a pumpkin patch, super cute. I still love the pumpkin patches. Oh, pigs, they're so cute. Do you guys know anyone who ever bought a mini pig? Do you remember the mini pig scam? Like, it was super trendy for a minute for people to get mini pigs, but they were never mini. Like, people thought they were getting like a teacup pig that would stay small, but they never stayed small. It was like a scam. And then they would end up having to like find them a home on a farm somewhere. Very 2000s, the mini pig trend. They gave Bridget and I white shirts to wear grape stomping. I wonder how messy they're gonna get. You can see us wincing and screaming. It felt so gross. Just like, imagine like juicy grapes in between your toes. It was like so nasty. Is grape stomping how they actually did it back in the day, or is that just a weird trope that somebody came up with? It's like, okay, grape stomping competition. But again, I'm just astounded at how this show was just about nothing. Oh, Bridget's grandma's on. She was so cute. Bridget's finding a creepy doll that she remembers being life-size from when she was little, but now the doll's tiny. I'm sure it maybe was almost her size back then. And then we're at a cigar bar with Bridget's stepdad, and that was really fun. I just can't believe we fit all that in one day. It was just so ridiculous, the whole curfew thing. Like, I kind of get not lifting the curfew for the first time it's showcased on the show because, you know, I mean, part of reality TV, especially reality TV like this, the viewer kind of wants to like snicker at what's going on and like feel superior and be like, oh my God, they have a curfew. So I get it showcasing it once and it was, you know, real, like we really had a curfew. But it's like, what's the point in like keeping it going and having us, you know, film something far away from home and we still have to fit it into one day? That's just so crazy to me. Before I moved into the mansion, I knew there was a 9 o'clock curfew. That was one of the few weird rules that I actually knew about before moving in. A lot of it I was not aware of at all before moving in, and only found out about it once I was kind of invested in the situation. And I didn't mind the idea of a curfew because even though I was 22, like I was in a place where I just wanted to like get my life together. I wasn't interested in like partying or like meeting other guys or chasing after celebrities or anything like that. So the curfew didn't bother me as like a day-to-day thing. But then when you realize like you can't really go home and visit your family or you can't travel and you're living there. Like when I first moved in, I thought, well, I'll probably be here for like a year. And then it just turned into longer. And it's just like, then it starts to get really annoying. Like when you can't even go on a day trip and stay overnight, that's just like ridiculous. Oh my God, it has me say there's some scandalous girls who come up to the mansion and might want to try and take our place when we're gone, which is totally true. Hang on, I'm gonna need to like go back and like rewatch some of this, which is totally true. But I feel bad because they zoom in on Stacy Burke, who was one of our friends when I say that. So I feel bad that they focused on Stacy. Not that I wasn't even talking about anybody in particular at that time period, but I lived at the mansion for about 3 or 4 years by the time we had filmed this. And it was always kind of this weird feeling of you're gonna have the rug ripped out from you at any moment. He just kind of like fostered this environment of like, oh, anybody else could come up at any time and like be the new favorite. Oh, I'm telling a story about how I've heard stories in the past about how like Hef would have a girlfriend and she was gone like one night. And then there would be this other girl who wanted to join the group who was kind of like lurking around and would literally like jump the couch to like sit in the spot next to him when she realized that the other person wasn't going to show up that night. Hef's friends would tell me that story and they would say it was like when the Bentley twins lived there, there was a playmate named Katie Lohman. And he said one day the twins didn't show up. So Katie jumped the couch. I don't know if it's true. Sorry if it's not true, Katie, but that's just the story I heard. That's the story that goes around. One of Hef's friends tells it all the time. And it has me calling to like see what he's doing because there might be other girls around. And at this point, I was kind of like in on the joke and thought it was funny when we would be away and they would cut in and kind of like show other girls. Because I remember we did that in the Jamaica episode in a later season when my sister gets married. I remember we made that phone call and we would say to the producers, oh, it would be funny if you cut it in and like had like other girls there and he's trying to get the other girls to watch a movie. Because at that point I felt really secure and I knew like he wasn't trying to add any other girls to the group. So I thought it was kind of funny. Oh my gosh, and they keep cutting to poor Stacy and make it look like she's just sitting there scheming. Oh my God, it's showing Hef in the phone room and just the most random things will bring back memories because I haven't thought of them in so long. Like I remember a couple of years ago when Once Upon a Time in Hollywood came out, the Quentin Tarantino movie, and they shot it at the mansion and they were doing this shot where it's showing, you know, the camera's showing like the point of view of the characters driving up to the mansion and it shows the gate opening and it shows like this marble frieze behind the gate. And that was just such like an everyday sight for me, and it was a random thing I hadn't thought of in so long. And I remember seeing that on the big screen and just feeling really like taken back in an instant because it was just such an everyday thing that I hadn't thought of in so long. And just seeing Hef in the phone room, I'm like, there's this little tiny room right outside the living room, and it was like the phone room because there would be a landline in there and people could go in and like have a private conversation. And I remember one day I found a crack pipe in there because a close friend of Hef's had a really bad drug problem at the time. And I had never seen what like a crack pipe was even supposed to look like not even in a movie or anything. Of course, I'd heard the term crack pipe, but when you see a crack pipe, you know it's a crack pipe. There's just no question about it. So found my first crack pipe in the phone room. Wait, what? It shows Hef walking from the pantry into the dining room and he goes, I know what time it is. It's grizzly bear time. And he does this roar. And that was nothing I'd ever heard him say. Was that something they cut in or what was that? And we're trying to guess like who sits next to Hef on the couch, and they cut to Stacy, and probably it would have been Stacy, but not in like a creepy way. You guys, the seating at the mansion was the most political thing. Like, I don't even know how to explain it to you in a way that you would like understand like how petty people got about it, and I'm not just talking about like with the girlfriends, but how petty people got about it and how important it was. Like, I'm looking at a shot of the living room on movie night, and there were 2 leather couches, and like Hef and his girlfriends would sit on the front one, and then the back one would be like Hef's brother and then a couple other close friends of his. And then in the front there were like these pillows. People would lay down on the floor on these pillows, and people had their spots. And if you took somebody's spot, like people would get pissed. Like, it reminds me of like when people talk about, like, if you've ever seen the movie Marie Antoinette, they talk about like the court of Versailles and how everybody had their spot and their rank. And that's how it was. Like, it was serious business. Wait, he goes, I should have brought down some dolls. I'm like, what dolls? People are going to be thinking he has a closet of blow up dolls or something. Yeah, we're definitely in on the joke here because we're sitting around talking about like, are there any randoms there? Like, who's going to sit next to Hef? And it's like we kind of cared in like an entertainment kind of a way, but like we weren't really threatened by other people at this point because like it had become pretty clear that it didn't seem like Hef wanted to add anybody else to the group at that point. But it was kind of like a fun bit of drama for the show. And Stacy's a good sport to go in on it. I just feel bad because they focus in on her so much, like she's this schemer, and it wasn't really that way. And then I'm calling, and then Kendra's calling, and they keep hanging up on us. And I don't know if that was just our calls not going through because we're on the road, or if that was like on purpose to be funny for the show on their end. I don't know. We're so tired on this car ride home. We're all like trying to sleep, but the 3 of us are crammed on, one bench in the limo because obviously the cameramen are on the opposite bench. Do people still use limos anymore for like anything other than prom? Inquiring minds want to know. It says we got home at 1 in the morning. Leave at 4 in the morning, go back. I just saw the dog Littlefoot, this big black dog, one of Hef's dogs, in the hallway. And I feel like this might be the first time I've noticed Littlefoot on the show. Because I remember seeing Archie a lot, but all the like carved wood at the mansion was really pretty. I'm just looking at the door to my side of the room being shut, and like there's like all these carved grapes in the door and everything. And I just wonder if they're keeping any of that with the big remodel that the new owner is doing. I'm curious. Okay, so takeaways with that episode. I think my favorite part, honestly, was the part where we're like wondering who's sitting next to Hef when we're gone. It was just kind of funny. Like, we were in on the joke, and I feel bad that they focused in on Stacy so much, but I guess she was who was there. So, sorry, Stacy. I didn't pick that shot, but I did think it was kind of funny. I thought it was like good drama and humor for the show. Least favorite, I don't really have a least favorite part of that episode. I just think that the fact that the curfew is so dumb, and the fact that we couldn't have the curfew lifted for like even filming an episode of the show is dumb. And even though it's kind of cute and funny that we're like playing back and forth and like wondering who's sitting next to Hef and calling the house and stuff, just the fact that we had to establish at the end of the episode, like, oh, we were gone for a whole day, but we kept in constant contact, so Hef didn't worry about us too much. Like, how insecure are you that like you can't let your girlfriends, which saying even girlfriends is weird, out for like 24 hours. Like, so weird. Anyway, next episode is our New York trip. So I will see you back for that one. Bye.